Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In today's headlines, we got a story of a Chinese astronaut saying he wants cooperation from the international space community and to be a part of the International Space Station. Let's just watch the mainstream news coverage, see if anything looks a little bit suspicious, and then I'll show you what I found. As I continue to assert, within all these media headlines are giveaways within the coded names and words, and they're all tributes to the Freemasons. I'll show you how what's found within this video, within this news story, has been found in many other space stories from the past, plus a whole lot more. Alright, here we go.
We're heading inside a secret military installation the Chinese call Space City. A place where
Space City in simple English gematria sums to 101. Space is 44. City is 57. Put it together, 101.
foreign journalists are usually forbidden. It's the heart of China's most expensive and ambitious project ever, the manned space program, home to China's elite astronauts.
It is very difficult to dock the two spacecraft together.
And how many hours did you have to practice?
We trained for the docking for 2 years.
2 years. CNN has obtained this exclusive footage of their rigorous training. All of the Chinese astronauts are military pilots, all Communist Party members. They spend thousands of hours doing simulations. Astronauts can train in this room for a decade before they even get a chance to go into space. They're part of a Chinese space program that takes the long view and has big ambitions. China launched its manned space program decades after the US and Russia. But they're making swift gains, and experts say could eventually take the lead.
The United States and Russia started their space programs early. They are the pioneers.
Presumably, you want it to be the best.
Of course. I hope our space program will be better and better.
The Chinese program works with the EU and others, but it's locked out of the International Space Station and NASA because of national security fears in Congress.
There's tremendous skepticism there about China. It's viewed as a foe. It's viewed as a...
Just look at the imagery they give us, True Seeker. I want to go back just a second. Let's see.
China. It's...
Wait, I don't know if I went back. Yeah, you know, like, what kind of imagery is this? And with a glove, like, blocking a third of the screen? I mean, something is up.
In Congress.
There's tremendous skepticism there about China. It's viewed as a foe. It's viewed as a government that seeks to take our intellectual property, our national secrets and treasure.
China says its program is for peaceful means and wants to be part of the international space community. But a recent report for Congress says China's race into space has negative-sum consequences for U.S. military security. It's developing multiple military technologies in space, including a rival system to GPS and satellite destruction capabilities.
There are no protocols in terms of what they are doing in space. We have to assume the very, very worst. China's access to space could be limitless in terms of what its capabilities are. So it can be very dangerous, not just to the United States, but to all our friends and allies.
Why do they always have flags waving in space? Is that part of how they make fun of us?
Right.
So, before we get into the gematria, let's just look at the Chinese space program, what's known about it. In the 50s, it traces back to continental ballistic missiles, nuclear program, and all that. And then they don't do anything until 2003, based on some accelerated technological developments. Just out of nowhere, they had a space program. And then there's just nothing since. Not much there. But anyway, Truth Seeker, this story, the headlines today were Chinese astronaut calls for cooperation, access to International Space Station. And he was referred to as Commander Ni Haisheng. And what's interesting about this name, Commander Ni Haisheng, is that with the S exception, it has this 113 gematria, a number coded so often into space program stories. We'll do some examples. And also so many other stories that have to do with dishonesty and corruption and misleading. Remember, the word mainstream equals 113. The word green screen equals 113. I wonder for how many years we might have been shown images of a green screen and told they're actually from space. The word dishonest is 113. And I'll say it again, I've said it in many other videos. Jewish holy text, Bava Kama 113a, says a Jew can lie to a Gentile, which is a non-Jew, to circumvent them. And it's undeniable that Jews run the media in this world. And a whole lot more than that. Notice that his last name with Pythagorean gematria is 44, matching the word space. When I was in high school, we took science tests. On the test, we were supposed to remember things such as the reason we went to space was so that we could do better medical research, such as for cancer. I wish I knew gematria when I was in high school, Truth Seeker. Look at the gematria of cancer. 44. Remember what 44 is? I call it the kill number. Kill sums to 44. Do you think they really make discoveries for cancer in space, Truth Seeker? But myself and millions of other kids, we had to go to school and learn that and take tests on it. Make sure we memorize those facts, you know? The Orion Deep Space Capsule launched out of CC, Cape Canaveral. When it took off, it departed at the time, or actually, wait, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Anyhow, this thing, the Orion Deep Space Capsule, it has a gematria of 113. What else? And you look at the other stats around it, it's all very Masonic. The Apollo 13 mission, it took off at the very curious time of 1313 military time, or 113 standard time. 113. Kennedy Space Station, another coded 33. The space program is all full of these numbers for its entire history. Masonic numbers. Here was a recent headline, This was September 23rd, 2014. Indian Mars Orbiter mission. Just days after NASA's Mars Orbiter reached the Red Planet, India's first mission could follow suit and make history Wednesday. India's Mars Orbiter mission has been groundbreaking for the country with a price tag of $74 million, a fraction of the $671 million NASA spent on the Maven spacecraft. Maven has gematria of 55. But the word Masonic, Truth Seeker, is 74. And you think about this nation's birthday, 7/4, July 4th. Find these numbers coded everywhere. Numbers of great significance. That's how much the mission would have cost for India, $74 million. Let's go back and watch this Washington, D.C. Freemason tour real quick. I love this.
I learned that almost all of our astronauts have been Freemasons.
He learned that almost all of our astronauts have been Freemasons. If you have the time, find this video on YouTube, Washington, D.C. Masons, Freemason Influence on America. He goes on a tour of the Mason Lodge in D.C., and there's a lot of interesting information in here. Eye-opening. Things such as almost all of our astronauts have been Masons. That's why they're always doing those Masonic poses and tributes. I should put a playlist together with all my space videos so you can see how long I've been reporting on all these numbers. It's an impossible coincidence, Truth Seeker. Impossible. All right, until next time.